nothing but slow jams coming through the speakers right now. Pandora got you heated right now.
What's up, everybody? This is Slowjams4life, and we're back again with another episode of Love and R&B. And today I have a wonderful guest with me who goes by the name of Grace Weber. How you doing, Grace?
Hey, I'm great. I'm excited. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. Thanks for joining. For those of you who don't know, been living under a rock, Grace, actually an artist, singer, songwriter, and she's very dope. I've been following her for a minute now, and I've been posting her on the page. So if you follow the page, you're probably familiar with her. But she's here to be on this show, and I'm going to tap into her head a little bit. But before I get into that, I do have a new single that just dropped today called Intimate, and it's very dope. You should check it out. We'll talk about that more later, but I just wanted to get that out the way.
My name is Grace Weber, and I'm 35. I just turned 35 like last week, which is really weird to me.
Oh, happy belated
Thank
birthday.
you. And I'm originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, but I live in LA now.
Do you get mad when people say Wisconsin?
Wisconsin, yeah.
Like that.
Funny thing is, I was just there like a week ago, and I started saying my O's like Wisconsin. It's like, oh, how you doing? And I was like, no. Like, I can't have my Wisconsin accent come back. But luckily, I left, and now I'm back to not Wisconsin.
All right, cool.
Even though I love my hometown, I love Milwaukee. My family's there. I run a music program for kids there. So Milwaukee is like always my roots. Yeah.
So now before I get into these questions, sometimes on my page, I get a little spicy, do things that shakes the table a little bit. So if I ask you any questions that you don't want to answer, this is the code word. Just say Wizzy Wow, and then I'll just go to the next question.
I like that code word.
Because I don't. Wow. Yeah, I don't want to get nobody in trouble. So, and I know you got ties, and yeah. So, first question I'll start off with is, when did you fall in love with R&B?
Honestly, like from my youth, like Boyz II Men was my first concert when I was 8, and that was like my favorite band. Like just the sound of their voices and the harmonies and just like how soulful it was so amazing to me. It was like the epitome of singing was Boyz II Men, Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, who obviously they lean a little more pop, but I actually grew up singing in a gospel choir. And so to me, like R&B that leaned in that gospel world was always just what I loved and just, where my heart lived. I remember listening to Mariah Carey and like trying to get every run that she was doing. I would like slow it down. Like, okay, she's doing like da 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 da. And I was like, okay, let me just figure out how to do that. So Mariah, Boyz II Men, they were like my voice teachers, I guess, growing up.
Dope. That's a good first concert to go to, Boyz II Men.
Oh, yeah. Like, I remember going there with my friend and just being like, I can't believe I'm here. And it was funny, too, because, like, they were, getting really, like, sexual on stage and, like, taking their shirts up and stuff. And, like, at 8, I remember kind of being like, oh, that's what that song's about. Okay. Like, sort of, like, putting 2 and 2 together. Like, I'll make love to you. And being like, oh, this is, like, sexual.
That's funny.
Just, like, love. So it was like a little bit like, shocking in a way at 8, but also like, okay, we're learning this now.
I don't think I went to my first concert till I was like over 18. So
oh yeah.
That's pretty interesting. Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Next question I have, who's your current favorite artist?
I have a few. I'm super into Lucky Daye. Right now, I really love his production. I really love his singing and his lyrics. I actually wrote this song, Intimate, that I released today with Dab, who's like one of Lucky Daye's main co-writers and sort of like creative collaborators. I also love Yebba. Like, she's incredible. I met her like 4 years ago now, maybe 5 years ago, when we were all working on Chance's album, Coloring Book. And I remember listening to her and Peter Collins, like singing in the stairwell at the studio and just being like, what the, can I swear on this show?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like, their voices were so free and like so emotional and just unconstrained. It was just amazing. And then who else am I loving? That song. I don't know his name. I'm like forgetting it, but These Four Walls. I don't know if you know that song that just
Is
dropped.
it?
I think he's from, actually, I was going to say the UK, but I don't think so. I can't remember his name, but I've been hearing this song everywhere and just being like, ooh, what is that? And the Victoria Monet, I love. Like,
Mm.
ass like that. It's in my head every time I'm in the gym. It's like, how you get that ass like that? And I get like inspired.
That's
But
so funny because my girlfriend loves that song too. And she always plays it.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
so good. And Moment, like, and her new project's crazy. Like, she just seems like a nice, good person. Like, I'm a fan.
yeah. Okay, so tell me about Yebba. I'm not really too tapped in. I always see people post Yebba's Heartbreak, but for somebody who's not familiar like me, what would be a couple of songs that you would tell them to listen to make them a fan?
Distance is beautiful. My Mind is kind of like what blew her up. Like that was sort of a song that she performed on what was it? So Far Sounds.
Okay.
And that was like the moment where everyone just saw like, oh, her voice. And really like how free and like willing she is to like put it all on the table. Like she's super raw and like super vulnerable. And I think it's just cool to see someone who's like willing to tell the stories that she tells about her life. And like she's gone through a lot, like her mom passed away kind of right when she started popping off. But yeah, so I'd say Distance, My Mind. There's one other one that I'm in love with, but I can't. Paranoia, Purple. That's the one that like everyone freaks out to about.
Yeah.
It's just
Okay.
very, very soulful, just so real. It's just, yeah, her voice is crazy. She goes crazy.
I'm gonna have to check her out. I don't know why I haven't, but like a lot of people rave about her, but I'm gonna have to
She
tap in.
leans like almost more into, I don't know, like soul. She's a little bit like genreless. Like I wouldn't say she's like super like R&B,
Mhm.
but she's very, I don't know, just soulful. Her voice is very like gospel vibes
Yeah.
too. Like she grew up in church, and she actually sings on PJ Morton's when he did the cover of, I should know this because I sang this on tour with him. I like sang Yebba's part.
Mhm.
I believe in you. I can't think of the song, but PJ does this cover of this song, and then Yebba did this like verse that's like iconic. Just like the choices that she made and the melodies, but yeah, definitely
Okay.
check her out. I think you'll like her.
Okay, for sure. I like when people can put me on to new music and new songs, so I'm gonna definitely
Yeah.
check it out. All right, cool. All right.
Yay.
Give me your top three, well, not top three, but your three favorite non-skip R&B albums.
Ooh, non-skip. Definitely Boys to Men. I like can't think of what the name of their first album is right now, but their first project was
The first
definitely
one.
like, what's the name of their first project? I'm about
Is
to
that
like
the
Google it.
Coolie? I think is that Coolie High?
Okay, so not Coolie High, but two. Boys to Men 2.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like
Okay.
that one was like everything for
Mm.
me. I really love Lucky Day again, the Painted album, like the one with Smoke Some More. I think that's what's on there. Was amazing to me. And then probably Yebba's project again, not to like be like, you know, going crazy. But, Yebba's album is called, what was it called? See, I'm like really bad with album titles, as you can
Yeah.
obviously tell, but I know like songs, but then I'm like, what was the name of the album? Dawn. Dawn. Dawn was
Don.
the name of the album. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Dope.
yeah, I think what are your non-skip albums?
Oh,
I
I
don't know
have
if
a
I'm allowed
lot.
to ask questions.
I have a lot. So the one that comes to mind, Maxwell, Urban Hang Suite,
Mm,
Mary J. Blige, My Life. I was just thinking about this yesterday. Who else? I mean, I have so many. I'm gonna get mad if I don't say one of my favorites.
I know it's funny. I feel like I'm like trying to pull. I'm like, what was the name of the album? Like, which is kind of like I feel like the name of an album is so iconic. You know what I mean? Like it's like the choice that people made to like this is what the title of the album is. So now I'm mad at myself as an artist for
Yeah.
not like pulling the album title.
Nah, it happens. But yeah, definitely some great albums. I'll check out Yebba. I haven't heard it, but I'm assuming it's great if you recommend it. So,
Yeah, I'm like going hard right now.
all right, for
I'm like,
sure, for
yeah, but
sure.
yeah, yeah. Butterfly, Mariah Carey. Can you call
Oh
is
yeah.
Mariah's like R&B,
Oh,
right? Like yeah, she's like
yeah.
pop-ish sometimes too, but definitely, yeah, that album. I actually was listening to this concert that she did in Tokyo in like 1994 or something when I was on a plane ride. Randomly, I was like searching through what to watch, and one of the options was like Mariah Carey, first time playing in Tokyo, whatever. And I was like, ooh, I'm gonna watch this. And it had like Motion, it had One Sweet Day, just like all of her hits. And she sounded so good. And the crazy thing to me is like her and the band didn't have in-ears. Like no, people didn't listen with in-ears a lot in the 90s, which like as a singer is crazy because she was singing in this like huge stadium, like probably 100,000 people or whatever. Like it was crazy. And she's singing with these little monitors on stage. And I'm like, damn, like if she can sing this without even like having in-ears or like maybe not hearing her like the best, it's like raised the bar for me as a singer where I was like, okay, I need to practice more. I need to like get to that standard of what Mariah could do at that point. Cause I feel like now, not that I don't think autotune is bad necessarily. I try to like not use it as much as I can just because I like the more like raw sound or whatever. But it was interesting to me to see singers in the 90s not using autotune at all. Like Boyz II Men 2 was I watched their concert and I was like, wow, like this singing is just like, I don't want to get like lazy with like leaning on autotune or like, and again, like I'm not hating on autotune. Like I use
Yeah.
it on songs sometimes or whatever, but I don't know. It just set the bar for me in a new way. So yeah, that was my little detour into
Yeah.
praising Mariah.
Can you explain the process of in-ears for someone like me? I'm not a singer, but when I go to concerts, I see some have it. Can you explain what that's for and what that does when you don't have it versus when you do have it?
So like when you're on a stage, you can either like hear yourself through like on stage monitors because if you're on stage a lot of the times like the speakers are in front of you, you can't necessarily hear what the audience is hearing. Sometimes you can if it's like reverberant in the room or like if it's a smaller room or bigger room, I guess sometimes too, but often you can't really hear the music when you're behind the speakers. And like because a lot of the sound is coming through like aux cords, so like the keyboard is like electronic keyboard, and so you can't hear it unless you hear it coming through speakers, just as like an example. And sometimes like the drums will be loud on stage because they're like right behind you, and so you can't necessarily hear your voice like as well as you want to. So on stage monitors like put the sound, projected at you, like you'll see them at the bottom of the stage. But in ears like put it right in your ear. So like it's just like listening on headphones or whatever, like you can hear everything clearer.
Oh,
And
okay.
especially like when I sing the national anthem, the echo is like so bad or so crazy like that you can't, it's so hard to sing the anthem without in ears because it'll be like, oh, say, can you see? And then I would not even be able to hear that because it's so like big and loud in there. I would hear when I'm on the next line, I would hear, oh, say, can you see? And it would like
Wow.
throw me off like crazy. So when you have in ears in, it like blocks everything out. So you're literally like, you can't hear anything else except for like what's coming in the mic and what's coming through the cords. So when you're not on in ears, especially in like a big stadium, I don't know. It's just crazy because it's like the drummer wasn't even on in ears, and to keep the tempo and stuff, it's just really hard to
Mhm.
sing like that
Yeah.
without in ears. And yeah, it's like singing with headphones versus singing on speakers, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for the explanation. Like I always see, because I'm not a singer, but I see like sometimes they'll be singing and then they'll take it out and then so I just always wonder like what's going on. And I'm
Yeah,
sure,
sometimes you like take it out if it's like too loud or like because you can hear yourself as a singer better sometimes when you have one ear in and one ear out. And so if you're feeling like, oh, I can't really like hear myself, like you'll like rip it out kind of.
okay, gotcha. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for explaining that. I'm sure
Yeah, I
that,
hope that
like I said,
was that made sense.
nah, it did. It definitely helped me a lot. Like I said, I'd be wanting to ask questions sometimes for myself because I always be wondering, especially now since I'm like going to concerts more. So nice to know.
Yeah.
So thanks. What's an R&B song or artist that someone put you onto that you're forever thankful for?
Mm. Ooh. I guess PJ Morton was one that my band put me onto. Alvin, my drummer, he grew up in New Orleans. He still lives there. And PJ Morton grew up in New Orleans and is from there. And I remember him just like bringing up PJ, and I was like, ooh, like again, as a singer, like the choices that he makes melodically were just really inspiring to me. And again, he has like a very gospel sound, and I think his dad is a pastor. I'm not for sure about that, but just musically, like the choices that he makes and the instrumentation and just like the backgrounds, the harmonies, and also like the way he does live shows, the arrangements are crazy. So I'd say that, and then maybe Jamila Woods actually was someone like from Chicago who is again like a little bit less like traditional R&B. I don't know what genre she like really falls in, but like lyrically she really inspired me and kind of pushed me to think about my lyrics in like a more poetic way. So yeah, I'd say those two people that I didn't know initially and was put onto.
PJ Morton, he's came up quite a bit in me doing this. So a lot of people are tapped in. I'm not really too tapped in with his whole work, but I gotta check him out and really dive into him. So,
Yeah. How Deep Is Your Love? That's a song that I forgot. That's what PJ did. How Deep Is
okay.
Your Love and Yebba, and like it's live and you'll James Vickery is another one from
Oh
London.
yeah, I like him. Yeah.
Yeah. He I think my manager put me onto him, and I got to work with him in London in January, and he's amazing, and he's also just again like the nicest dude. He's really funny, and he's actually on my album because of the song.
I was gonna say, do you guys have any songs together? That's dope.
Yeah, it's like an amazing song. I'm excited.
Dope. Can't wait to hear it.
Honestly, like a lot of 90s R&B inspired me a lot for this project. I sent my mixing engineer When the Water Runs Dry was like a song that I was like, I want to make sure that for my mixes, we're not going too modern, like too compressed. Like we're still pulling from this R&B sound, not only in some of the production, but like literally in the mixing of like the way that the vocals were very raw and like emotional. They were very dynamic too. Like you could hear the highs and the lows, and like it wasn't all too much of the same level. So I'd say those. I know you said one song, and I just throw you like a
No,
bunch of songs, but those are artists that I did send songs to, like to be like, this is the direction that I want for the album.
what's the hardest part about being an upcoming artist?
Trying to like stand out in the sea of so many artists, like trying to get put on. I would say, especially like independently, it's hard because our budgets are small. And so it's this process of like, okay, where should we spend the money? You know, I always want to put it creatively. And so does my team, but like definitely my team. But there's always these questions of like, oh, should we make a music video for this song and then like push it and hope that it organically gains traction? Like through your page, who you've been so supportive of me, which has been huge. I want people to know, like when they post stuff, like it means the world to me, because it's like, okay, this is another chance for people to see what I'm doing. But you know, you wonder like, okay, should we save money to push the YouTube video out? Like kind of just those decisions, those like business decisions of like, how do you promote yourself to stand out in this world? And because even like artists who are signed, you know, they're trying to stand out too. Like there's so much information that's coming at us all the time. And I just feel like, how do I get people to hear my music? Because I feel like if they hear it, you know, I can hit that tipping point of like the fan base that I'm looking for. But if I can't reach people, it's like, how do I get out there? So I think that would be like the hardest part, is just standing out and like social media. Like I have a hard time. I love Instagram and I'm actually really loving Threads, but I've never been super good at TikTok or Twitter. And so it's kind of hard for me to like try to figure out how to get good at that when I feel really like it does not come to be naturally and I don't like it. And so that's tough.
I wish there was more platforms out here that were helping upcoming artists. I don't think there's really many pages out there that show love to the artists out here that's currently putting out R&B music. So that's why with my page, I try to always show love. Like, yeah, I throw in the throwbacks. My main thing that I like to do is support the new R&B because that's the future. You can either complain about it or you can do something to help advance it. So I came across your music and I think the Spotify algorithm put me onto your music.
I
Sometimes
love that.
I'll just be, listening to music and it'll say so-and-so sounds similar to this artist. And I'll go through all the artists and I came across your music. And I think the first song I saw was featuring Chance. I'm like, wait, she has a song as a rapper? I'm like, oh, so like Chance knows her, but I don't know her. So I'm like, wait, I'm behind. So listening to a bunch of your songs, I was like, she's really dope. Like, I can't believe she's not really talked about. So from then on, I was like, oh, can't wait to post her on my page. So
Yay.
and then
I appreciate it.
Yeah. And then with each release, I'm just like, oh, it gets better and better. And I know like sometimes you'll send me music early. I've never been in a position where I'm like, I gotta lie and tell them I like it. But like usually when they send me stuff, it's always good. So I'm like, yes, like especially when you send me stuff. So
good. No, that makes me happy. And honestly, like I like that on your page sometimes you'll put like, what do you guys think? Like, do you like this or not? And I like seeing what people's like real reactions are. You know what I mean? Like, I really want to know if people are into it or not, because that's something too, like when I get in my head sometimes where it's like, oh, like how do I break through? You start thinking like, is it that some of the songs aren't like translating or something? And I get, so many messages from people who are like, I love this. I love this. And so sometimes I'm like, I want to know. I mean, that's just like when I was on Spiritual Word or like They Have the Range and stuff like that. It's kind of fun. I don't know if fun's the right word, but I get like a ton of amazing comments. And then some people will be like, I'm not feeling this. And it's like, okay, cool. Like I like to see both sides of it because it's just more real to me, I guess.
Yeah. I can just say for me, I think you're dope. I don't just throw that out there. It's only a matter of time before the rest of the world takes notice. And, sometimes it'd be like that. Like even with my page, like I feel like my page is super dope, but I don't feel like it necessarily gets the love. Like doing this is when I get my flowers from people like, oh, I appreciate your page and stuff like that. But, so.
I love your page. That's why I send you stuff early. Because actually, I meant to send you intimate early. I have this like list of people that I was like trying to email it out to. And you were like top of the list. And then we dropped it off.
I appreciate it. And another thing I wanted to say on here, a while ago, you sent me an email inviting me to your video shoot for, I think it was the Lonely video, if I'm not mistaken. And I just want to say like that meant a lot to me because for somebody who's doing this, and this wasn't like a career path for me. I just made this page because I love R&B. And doing this page, I've started meeting people and, building a rapport with these artists and producers. So like gestures like that, it gives me the confidence and it lets me know like, okay, this is a space where you can exist and they actually value what you bring. So when you sent me that invite, even though I didn't make it to the shoot because I was going out of town, it meant a lot because I'm like, wow, she's sending me an invite to, number one, she doesn't even know who I am, so I just want to thank you for that. It meant a lot and it did a lot for as far as like confidence and just reaffirming like, okay, you're on the right path. So
that's good. And like literally like me inviting you is because I think you're dope. You know what I mean? Like, and I appreciate you. Like you are one of the people that's championing what I'm doing. And so it's like why, it's like I want you to be a part of like the cool shit that I'm doing. So
yeah, for sure. Well, thank you. Likewise. Feeling is mutual. Someone listening to your music for the first time, what are 3 songs that you'll tell them to start off with?
More Than Friends, which is kind of like one of the songs that really like started my career, and I guess Lonely, because that really like starts to show people the sound of this project and like the 90s, like, and like more sexy side of myself that I feel like I didn't really show up to this point. And then I would say Intimate because it like shows off my voice in a way that I'm like really excited about. Like the end of the song, it's really like raw for me. Like that was one where the part at the end where I just am like talking about the things that I struggle with and like the anxieties that I have, and how I describe the song is like the first half of the song is sort of the fun, like let's stay up all night, like let's talk, like let's get super close, like stay up with me, this is so fun and like beautiful, whatever. And then the second half is like you get so close to someone that all of a sudden you're like, wait, like don't leave. Like, wait, like stay up with me. Like, did I reveal too much? Like, if I did, like it'll be, I'll get better, whatever. It's like the excitement and then like the fear of that. And I think like a lot of people maybe feel like that, where you do get close to someone and then you're afraid of losing them, and then you overthink, you know, things that you said or did or whatever. And so that second half is just like, when I sang that part, like, to stay a little bit longer, it was really like me feeling that way that day. And I was hoping that would translate onto the record, and I feel like it did. And that just was like a really healing song for me to make. And so I think if you want to get to know me even beyond like my voice or my songs, like that song will help you get to know me, I think, the
What's the
most.
name of modern artist that you feel is underrated that deserves more attention?
Gene Noble.
Yeah, like Gene.
He goes crazy. His voice is ridiculous. like
Yeah.
like one of the craziest voices I've heard in a minute. Like, he for sure. Who else do I feel like is kind of underrated? I mean, Reggie Becton, I feel like he's like growing and like getting his flowers, and like I know Spotify is like giving him love, and I do see him not necessarily like underrated right now, but I'm excited for him to keep blowing up, because I just think like as a writer and his songs, like he opened for me on my tour in 2021, and he's been someone who's like, he reached out to me on DM back in like 2020 maybe, and he was just really sweet and nice and was like, you know, I love your music, and would you be down to check out my song? It was raining in LA, and like he was just coming up, and I was like, you're amazing, like keep going, like you're dope. And then he asked me to feature on one of his songs, and I was really into it. So I'm just excited for Reggie to keep like doing his thing, and I think he's on the right path, and I think he will get there. So yeah, Gene Noble, Reggie. I'm trying to think of like a girl that I feel like is kind of underrated. Honestly, like Money Long. I met her when she was under the name, I think she was still
Priscilla
Priscilla
Renee.
Renee.
Mhm.
And we were both performing at this thing because we were both on Capitol at the time. And I think we both left. I don't think she's still on Capitol, but around the same time too. And I remember like watching her TikToks and like all the music that she was dropping. And like, I feel like initially she wasn't really getting her flowers, or like people weren't taking it seriously, like how amazing of a writer and artist and singer that she is. And so then, you know, when she blew up, it was like, yes, you know, like, okay, this is a success story that you love to see. So I feel like when you think that an artist is underrated, they're about to have their glow up moment. Because
Yeah,
Gene Noble, I'm excited. Do you like him?
I love him. I went to his concert a couple months ago.
Mm.
He had a show out here. I can't remember. I think it was the Peppermint Club, I believe.
Okay.
But that album, probably one of my favorite that came out this year.
Yeah.
I think he's real dope. Reggie, I'm familiar with him too. And Money Long, she's one of my favorite. I actually met her randomly at a Victoria Monet concert.
Amazing.
And so I seen her randomly by the bathroom. I was waiting for my girl to come out, and she like walks across. I'm like, oh my shit. Like, do I say something? But I'm just like, you know what? This is the year of getting out of my comfort zone and just stop being scared. So when she lets you walk past, I didn't say anything, but I kept thinking about it. I was like, man, I'm gonna be thinking about this forever. And then, long story less long, she walked back. I guess God was like, no, we're gonna give you another chance.
I love that.
And then I was like, no, I gotta go up to her. And I walked up to her. She had her bodyguard this time, and she just seemed like the sweetest person. And this is another moment that I always remember. And hopefully, I'll meet her one day and I'll get to tell her this. But I walked up to her. I was like, Money Long. She like looked back and she was like, you know, look very attentive, like, hey. And I was like, I just want to say I'm a fan of your music. I got an Instagram page, Slowjams4life. And then she was just like, okay. Thank you. Like, and it was just, that meant a lot to me. So.
Yeah.
It did a lot for my confidence. So she's dope.
Yeah. Like, you just want to be noticed. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you just want,
Well, I just wanted to give her flowers. Hopefully she remembers that moment in the future, but.
Definitely. She'll be on this show.
Yeah, hopefully we'll put it out there, you know.
Yeah.
What's an unpopular R&B opinion that you have?
I guess I would say like R&B is very much not dead. And I feel like a lot of people feel like that. I never really understand when people say R&B is dead. Like, I guess because it's not as much in like the popular culture, maybe. Like, on the radio and stuff like it used to be. So I get that. But if the popular opinion is that R&B is dead, I completely disagree with that, because everything that I listen to and, you know, everything that's like in the conversation that I'm having with you and other people, it's like, it's so alive. So, you know, that, I guess I would say that. I don't know. I don't know if I have any other like unpopular opinions.
How do you feel about that as an artist making R&B music when people say that and it's like loud? I see it on my page all the time. How do you feel about when people say that? Like, do you get offended, or like what goes
I
through
don't
your
get
head?
offended. I just get confused.
Yeah,
Like I'm like, I don't get it. Like
yeah,
I literally don't get it. Like there's just no
yeah,
part of me that understands why people are saying that. Because
yeah.
I don't
Yeah, I
think it's
hate
dead.
that. I hate that. Also, every song sounds the same. It's like another one that gets on my nerves. It is like, but you
Yeah,
won't say that about the '90s because they have a bunch of songs that sound similar. But
right, right,
like '90s, nobody would ever talk bad about the '90s.
right.
So
Yeah. It's weird. I feel like so many, I don't know, like maybe it's social media, like people just get on these like negative waves because it's popular or something. I don't know. I don't get it. I just
yeah,
don't get it. That's all.
yeah. For this part, I got a few songs written down. I have 3 songs of yours that I want to ask you about, and you kind of touched on some of them already. But the first song, this is one of my favorite songs of yours, "Crazy to Hope."
Yeah, I love
Can you
that
tell me
song.
about that
I
song?
wrote that song with Carrie Marshall, who's a guitar player who I love, and I worked with him a lot when he lived out here. He lives in Atlanta now, but we used to play like live shows a lot. So we were in the room together. Crazy to Hope was about meeting someone that you kind of just start falling in love. You know, we met one night in the summer. I never thought it would last. But now, like, you're all that I'm thinking about. And so, is it crazy to hope that this could be a thing? You know, like, even though we only had one night together, like, this felt like a dream I had. We were flying, like, it was amazing. So, is it crazy to hope? And that's kind of the vibe of the song. And when Masego said he'd hop on it, that was crazy. Because I was working with Louis Lastic, who's one of the producers that works with Masego a lot. And for the second verse, I was like, oh, this would be perfect to have a feature. Like, it just feels like one of those songs. It's kind of like a slow jam that was like, I wanted it to feel sexy. And like, I just felt like a guy singing on it would be amazing. And Masego felt like an amazing choice. And I thought he was going to sing on it. And then when it got sent back, it was like saxophone. And I was like, ooh, I love this. Like, I feel like it's really rare to have like a sax solo on a song. You know what I mean? When it was like super common, you know, in the 80s and 90s and, you know, probably not the early 2000s really, but so when he sent that back, I was like, oh, I love this. And kind of a funny story about that is I had sent this song to Louis, his producer, and I thought, so like I had gotten his part and we had mixed it and like we were getting ready to release it and I had sent it and like I thought that everything was good to go. Like I thought Masego had heard it. Like I thought we were good. And then like I think it was like 2 or 3 days before we were gonna drop the song, Masego's manager hit me up and was like, yo, like we didn't hear this, like we didn't approve the mix, whatever. And I was like, oh shit, like I thought we were good to go. Like I thought all the emails and whatever had gone out and blah blah blah. It was probably the most, usually it's like not like that. I don't even know why it was like this, but I don't know. But I think maybe the pandemic like was definitely on me to a certain extent of like, I don't know why I didn't make sure that all the boxes were checked. But anyways, I was like, oh no, like this is coming out in like 3 days. What am I gonna do? And they were like, okay, Masego just wants to like remix his sax a little bit. Like he wants it to sound more like this. And so, and I hadn't met him at this point. It was very like through Louis Lastic. And so I got Masego's number and he FaceTimed me and he was so nice and was just like, it's cool. Like, we'll figure it out, whatever. And he stayed up until like 2 or 3 in the morning with me and my mixing engineer so that we could get it done in time for the release. And like he had never met me, like he had no clue at the end of the day like who I was. And he did that, which I was like, that's so cool. Like
Yeah.
he could have easily been like, take it off the song, like you got to pause the release, whatever.
Yeah.
And he stayed up and got it right. And then he sent me like a video, you know, he was like on a skateboard and he was like sending me a video like, I hope everything goes well with your release. Like, thanks for having me on it. And I was like super up and coming at that point. And it just really was cool to me that he did that and was willing to keep the release going and like be on the song and have his name on the song. And so that's probably the coolest story about that song, was just how it almost didn't come out. And then he helped make sure that it did.
That's dope. I like when people are just genuine and they just go out of the kindness of their heart and just go above and beyond. And I like that, because oftentimes you get people that they're not trying to help you out, or they'll be a dick about certain shit.
Yeah.
So.
And he like, I feel like he got like artist to artist. I feel like he was like, I can imagine how you feel right now. Like you're probably freaking out.
Mm-hmm.
And just, I feel like he's been there type energy. And so that was just like, yeah, it was just, yeah. The fact that he wasn't a dick, he was awesome, was incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that song. That's one of my favorites. I feel like I could say this about a lot of your songs, but the next one, Time on Me, another favorite of mine.
Yes. I love the songs you're pulling up from How Did We Get Here. I love that project.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like, I don't know, like certain people, even on my team, were like, that project like wasn't it. I was like, yes, it is. I love Time on Me. Like, so that song's actually that was kind of about my label at the time, where I was just like, you know, you don't even know what you have. Like, if you're not going to spend your time on me, like, I'm going to walk away type shit. Like, or like, yeah, like go ahead and walk away. I don't have time to play. Like, and you don't really got it like that. Most of the songs that are about things other than love, I turn it into a love song just because it's the way I like to write, but it's also more like relatable versus like, I don't want to go to the meeting that you set up and whatever. But that was like, I'm trying to remember how the first verse goes. It's funny, I haven't sung that song in a while. I didn't even have that song in my set really, because it kind of was one that fell through the cracks. Like, but I love that song. I'm glad you brought that up. Like one of my favorite projects.
Time on me. I love that.
Yes, you can spend your time, spend it on me.
I think I posted it on the page too when I did the post. That was one of the songs I included in there.
Yay! Yeah, that's one of my favorites. I'm so glad you're bringing these up, because that project, I love that project.
These questions be for me, because I be wanting to know about certain songs and stuff. So,
yeah.
All right, so we'll ask you about some of your newer stuff now. You kind of briefly talked about it, but Intimate is your latest single. Yeah, I guess whatever you want to say about that song that you didn't already say.
I think I said it probably already in that like earlier part when we talked about it, but just just like
vulnerable.
Yeah. And
was it about somebody specifically, or?
I would say like about my husband in a way. Like he's so amazing. I'm so blessed to have this amazing love in my life, and he never makes me feel like he's gonna leave. But I get so insecure sometimes about like the things that I struggle with, and sometimes I feel this like guilt, kind of like, oh, am I like putting too much on you, or like does my like emotional side get like overwhelming or something? And I think that part of the song was sort of me being like, don't leave, but he never would. Like for him, he's always like, I love you no matter what. And that's actually, there's a song called Awake on the project that's like about how when I go into places of like, you know, anxiety or like depression or whatever, like I feel like I'm sort of asleep kind of. And like every time I wake up from that, he's there. Like you're there when I'm awake, you know, like you're always there through the trials. And so in Intimate, I reference awake, like a little bit longer, I'm wide awake. I swear I'll try to be stronger, but my mind wins the race. And so awake is kind of this reference of like, I'm here now, like I am awake. But like sometimes, you know, my mind gets very anxious and whatever. So I kind of like that it has like a reference to another song on the project. And there's actually a lot of songs that have like, you'll hear like titles of one song as a lyric in another song. And that's something that was kind of fun to me to like weave the project together by referencing other songs within other songs. Yeah.
Real quick, did you get that from Mariah Carey? I know you're a big Mariah Carey
Oh,
fan. She does that a lot.
Did she do that? Oh my God, I love
She
that.
does that in a few of her songs. Like she'll mention like the title of projects. It's one song she does it. I can't think of it, but she does it. If I think of it, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
But
I'll look
funny.
that up. I didn't even know that, but I love
Yeah.
that. She's
Okay.
like my idol.
So for this part is a real quick round. I'm gonna give you 2 options, and then you just tell me which one you like better. Called the
Okay.
this or that round.
Okay.
Well, I feel like I know where you're going with this one, but Whitney Houston or Mariah Carey?
I guess Mariah, but you know, how can you choose? But Mariah Carey was the one that I listened to when I was younger, who like I learned singing from, like, and then Whitney Houston, you know, was everything. But for some reason, I didn't get introduced to her as quickly as I did Mariah Carey. I don't know why, but you can't really choose. Let me just say that. But if I had to, Mariah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could choose. I just love Mariah Carey more. Like I
Yay,
know
okay.
Whitney. Yeah, Whitney's the voice, but I've just always been drawn to Mariah Carey. Like her songs, like most of her songs, I love. So
Vision of Love, Emotions, My All.
Yeah. For sure. So,
Same.
Justin Timberlake or Justin Bieber?
Oh, that's
Bet you
interesting.
never heard that before.
No, never. I would say Justin Timberlake, like normally, but like lately, I don't know. Justin Bieber's kind of been pulling it through a little bit. Like I kind of like where Justin Bieber's at right now, but I'd say Justin Timberlake.
Okay.
At the end of the day.
Okay, last one. Boyz II Men or Drew Hill?
Boyz II Men.
I was like, I should have set you that, but okay. Are you a Drew Hill fan at all, or you just like Boyz II Men?
Drew Hill, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay. But I didn't listen that much. Like Boyz II Men, yeah, they were I just love them. I don't know. I think I like tweeted at them once and they like hearted it or something, and I was like, Yay. But yeah, I'd say Boyz II Men. As I feel like I've been like talking about them so much on this and Mariah and Yebba and stuff. But
they deserve their flowers. So
yeah,
I mean, I love Boyz II Men. Well, that concludes my little interview session with this Love and R&B, and I just want to say I had fun. I enjoyed interviewing you, just talking R&B with you. Thank you again for doing this. At this time, I'd like to give you the opportunity. Anything you want to promote or talk about, drop some gems. The floor is yours now.
I think I said everything I wanted to say. I guess just get ready for my album. It's coming out in September. I don't want to drop the date just yet because I want to make sure that we're like locked on that date. But September, and then I'm going to be announcing a tour in a couple weeks. So that'll be, you gotta come.
Well, I'm assuming you're coming out here, right, LA?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's like East Coast, and then we're gonna come out and do an LA show. But yeah, that'll be in November. So just listen to the project, come to the tour, and thanks everyone for the support, and thank you especially.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm definitely gonna be at the tour. So whenever it's announced, I'll get my tickets. So now this is like the sign off part where I sign off in my Slowjams4life way. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sign off, and then after that I'm gonna need you to sign off in kind of similar fashion, but your own way. But you have to use the catchphrase that I use, which is Wizzy Wow. If you're not familiar with the Wizzy Wow. Do you know why I say Wizzy Wow?
I don't.
No. Well, Wizzy Wow is an actual song by Blackstreet.
Okay.
Yeah. The song wasn't that great, but I made it a mission to get justice for Wizzy Wow. So I use it.
I love that.
Yeah, I use it pretty frequently, like in the comments and on the page. So anywho, I say all that to say this is Slowjams4life signing off. Wizzy Wow.
Wizzy Wow.
Wizzy Wow.